Hey guys, Joshua here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the ASUS TUF Gaming FX504G. The design I have here is of the red matter, and there are actually another 3 other designs which you can check out. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. So the red matter design is going to be the most striking one because as you can see, there are red markings on the outside of the laptop and even on the inside portion of the laptop. Personally, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of this, and I'd probably go for the premium steel design, which to me the design is a lot more subtle. The laptop measures in at 384mm in width, 262mm in depth, and 25mm in height while weighing about 2.2 kilograms. For ports, they're all going to be located only on the left side of the laptop, and there's the power jack, LAN jack, HDMI 1.4 port, a USB 2.0 port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and a combo audio jack. The display is a 15.6-inch LED Full HD matte display that runs at 60Hz, and the viewing angles are actually quite good. Especially if you're using it solo, but at certain angles there are glares that I notice, especially in places with overhead lights or outdoors where it's pretty bright. The bezels are also quite thick, and after using quite a few thin bezel laptops, I have to be honest and say I noticed these bezels very significantly when gaming or watching movies. The specs for this laptop are going to be an Intel Core i7-8750H CPU, 1050 Ti GPU, 8GB of RAM, a 256GB SSD, and a 1TB HDD. Going into the performance and benchmarking tests, in Cinebench, you're getting an OpenGL score of 75.85 FPS with a CPU score of 717 CB. PCMark 10. The overall score is 3897, with the essential scoring 6662, productivity at 5499, and digital content creation at 4386. In 3D Mark TimeSpy, you'll be getting a score of 2460 with a graphics score of 2339 and the CPU score of 3485. In PUBG, I've realized the best setting for this laptop is to have all of your settings on high, because this is where you'll be getting above 60 FPS and generally in the 70s also as everything renders out, but generally it'll be around 65 to 70 around there. And if you really want to, you can actually just change everything to ultra, but obviously that's going to be bringing down the FPS by quite a bit actually, so it's actually now below 50 and rarely does it go above 50 when you're playing everything at ultra, which is still playable, but yeah, just something to bear in mind. In Fortnite, you're going to want to just put your quality on high because as you can see, even on high, the settings, yeah, the frame rate caps at around not even 60. Most of the time you'll be getting high 50s, but rarely will you see it stabilize at 60 plus. And if say I were to go to epic mode, save it, you're going to see the frame rates drop down to a high 40s kind of thing, which I wouldn't really recommend when you're playing FPS games, especially when you need to hit your targets and stuff like that. So when you're building stuff, it lowers even more to about 30 when you're building. So yeah, that's the performance on Fortnite. Running the GPU at full load for about 30 minutes or so, as you can see, temperatures are at 72 degrees Celsius. It's actually cooling it pretty well, and the fans are not obnoxiously loud. For the CPU, running at full load at 100%, the temperatures are maintaining about 67 to 68 degrees Celsius, even though I've been running it for about close to 40 minutes now, so temps are definitely very good on this machine.
It says that you recruit the most vulnerable of us to volunteer for tests that more often than not end up killing people.
Eddie,
we never got to work out.
Thank you very much.
We're not finished.
Yes, you are, Mr. Brock.
Is that a threat?
Have a nice life.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace.
The sound from the speakers were surprisingly good. There is plenty of clarity, and they do not distort even at higher volumes, but it severely lacks bass. I couldn't hear or feel any thumping at all even after I tuned it up all the way, but other than that, they are pretty good speakers. There's very little to no flex from the keyboard, and because these are scissor switch keys, they are very smooth and quiet at the same time. Something a bit weird about how the arrow keys are positioned is that they are on the bottom right part and it juts out a bit for your left, bottom and right keys. So yeah, it's interesting design choice and it actually breaks the symmetry, but yeah, it is what it is. The backlight only comes on in red, so you can't change the colors at all, but overall, it looks pretty nice because it matches the red design of this laptop, especially for red matter. The trackpad is great, no complaints there, smooth to the touch and even has a slight click whenever you press down, just enough for you to know when you've pressed down harder in a sense. Even though the temperatures from the test look good, when the laptop fans are not spinning at full speed, you can definitely feel the heat from where you would rest your palms when typing, and it does get slightly uncomfortable. It's not like burning hot type of heat, but just a warm sensation which I don't particularly enjoy. But when gaming and the fans speed up all the way, the heat mostly diverts to the middle of the laptop keyboard, but your QWER, WASD keys all remain cool, including the numpad, and the part where your palms rest definitely feels a lot cooler. Unfortunately, even when surfing the web or just doing light work with this laptop, the fans are constantly kicking in, so there will always be this low hum from the fan spinning. So if you work in a very quiet environment, you'll definitely be able to hear it, but if say the aircon at your office place or if you're doing your work at a Starbucks, the noise becomes negligible. Speaking of working outside, the laptop battery life can actually last about 4 hours if you change the settings for better battery life and don't play games on it, but when you use this to game, the battery only lasts about 2 hours or so. Fortunately, the battery charger, even though it actually looks quite bulky, it is actually surprisingly light, so carrying it around won't be a problem. The laptop comes in at 1798 SGD, and I would say it's affordable if you need a laptop that can not only game, but at the same time also do some of your work and has decent battery life in a sense. It also looks and feels quite premium, except for the power button, which is soft and actually wobbles when you press on it. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but moving on, it is a great laptop that to me, if you're looking for a basic gaming and productivity laptop from ASUS, this would be the one to go for. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, like and subscribe for more tech and gaming content, hit the notification bell to get notified when new videos come up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!